Welcome to the Name That Invertebrate show. Tonight we have 4 lucky invertebrates for you all to guess from. For our first invertebrate, over 95% of them live in salt water and the rest live in fresh water. This invertebrate eats by the movement of the water and its currents. This invertebrate cannot move on its own. The water current and waves move them. Our first invertebrate is able to reproduce either asexually or sexually, which means asexually means that you reproduce on your own, and sexually it means you have a partner. For our second invertebrate, it lives in the deep holes and under rocks in the ocean. It eats crabs, clams, snails, small fish, and they eat using a small parrot-like beak. They move using jet propulsion, which is sucking air into muscular sacs and quickly pushing it out. During reproduction, the male uses an arm called a hectocaulis. Insert its sperm into the female. The female lays about 200,000 eggs. To protect themselves, they use ink sacs, camouflage, and auto-missing limbs. What's the second invertebrate? For our third invertebrate, it is a crustacean. The animal eats from the flesh of other animals and scrapes sifted from the muds. Also, the seabed. It has 8 legs beneath its body. It can move very quickly. They mainly live in the sea from shore to depths. Sometimes they live in fresh water or on land. The females hold eggs under their tails. After they reproduce, they separate. What's the third invertebrate? For our fourth and final invertebrate, this invertebrate eats crickets, flies, bees, and other small insects. They live in webs and retreat in small places. The speed of us depends on the temp. They are slowed when it's cold and fast when it's hot. Mating can take hours and the female can lay 300 eggs at one time. What is the fourth invertebrate? So if you guessed sponge for the first invertebrate, you were right. What was the second? Octopus. And if you guessed octopus for the second one, you were right. And if you guessed crab for the third one, you were right. And if you guessed spider, you were right.